Okay, cool. All right, so it's on there. Nice, man. What about on YouTube?
You check it out. You're alive.
Okay, cool. Nice. So the transition period is like, I mean, so when does the start window pop up? That's what I was wondering about. You know how it's like our starting.
Oh, let me just. I'm hearing you 15 times. Hold.
Oh,
Okay,
gotcha.
so go to OBS and then you can press on the starting screen. But the so when you press on the starting screen, you'll have that as your placeholder.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Then you can start.
Then I can go over to
Yeah.
main screen. Got it. All right, awesome. Man, that's
Sweet.
awesome. I really appreciate it. So I'll probably
Dude.
I'll knock out now. I'll go ahead and knock out what we went over and what we traded today.
Yeah,
And
man.
then I'll call you back up and see what's going on.
All right. Sounds good, dude.
Man,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Anytime.
I appreciate it.
Dude, anytime.
All
All right.
right,
Take care.
awesome. Yeah. Bye. All right, guys. So really quick, so we're gonna start doing these nice little reviews. I'm gonna try to do these more often, just so that anybody that's out there watching can kind of follow along. We want to make it a little bit nicer, a
Wait.
little bit more interactive.
I'm sorry, John.
Yeah.
Did you say something? I exited out.
No, no. I was just talking in general, just because I'm doing my
Okay. No
review.
worries. No worries.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, man.
All right, man. Love you. Bye. All right, so we're just going to go over and kind of talk about what happened today. We actually had an excellent day. It was actually one of my best days yet. But saying that, it came with some consequences. I came into the morning with some long positions on, and I decided last week that I was going to start a long-term channel. And this is something I'm looking more like quarterly and yearly, and only focus on monthly charts. So understand that although you see some nice winners out there, I do have some pending trades that may be down a little bit, but those are something that I'm wanting to hold. They're share based only, and I'm looking for months and months out to years. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started here with our ES futures. You can see here on ES is that we're going to go through multiple time frames here. It's very important to understand that. All right. So first things first, when we woke up this morning, what I was telling the team is that we're pulling back. We have about 4 weeks so far. Yes, we just started today on Monday, but we have 4 weeks down. And if you go back and just kind of study the market in general, you can see here that it's very uncommon for the ES to fall for 4 weeks. I mean, this is just like a basic back test. You can come back here, you can see there's 4 weeks here, three here, two there, a two, a stop, and then two more down. And we can, go back and back test as far back as you want to. So that's one thing I want to take into consideration. The second thing is that as far as supply and demand traders go, you know what you're looking for, and you can see here I went ahead and identified a little area here between 32.16 and 31.62. When we open up this morning, they were trying to show us a little bit of a bounce. Okay, so if we come over here to a 4 hour, all right, so this was our 4 hour chart. And basically, the most important thing here when I come into the morning, I'm looking to see, can we get over that 9 EMA? So I'm going to pick a time frame, and if we bounce, my biggest thing is can they bounce us over not only the trendy level EMA, and really, if we can begin to hold above my levels, the trendy edges here, and above the 9 EMA, then I'll be looking for a move into this level here. You can see it here, and this level there. Okay. So for right now, we are in a downtrend, but we did play the pop. Now, the reason why we played it off of this is because it came into that level I just showed you. Okay, a little bit higher time frame. All right, and there's a couple things. When we look at this entire range, still super bullish. All right, you can see here on my banners, extremely bullish for the year. All right, so none of that changes. So again, 4 weeks down, we came into a little range, a little bit of demand here. We did pop. This is a level that I gave the team. You can see here it moved very nicely from here. Now, one thing I do have is I have different time frames, okay, on here. And you can see we have like 921, and we can play into the night and so forth. So at night, I post things on Twitter, and you can see here we use the line in the sand, And then we have our levels. Give me 1 second here. All right. And we're going to come into, let's see, last night, 9:21 morning. There we go. So this was 9:21. All right. And the biggest thing was we came into this level at 32.17, 32.16 area. We went bounce, and then we're looking for what's called the trendy PMZ. So we pushed up into there. That's a very nice move. And again, the bigger picture is we're not over the EMA. Before we go into tomorrow, very important, we're looking at day candles now. We have ourselves a very nice inside and down right into this section here. This is our range. We came into this inside and up that I showed you on a weekly, and then we have the trendy edge. As long as this low holds, I'm looking for a move up. We need to, look for this inside candle coming into tomorrow. Okay. I don't care if we flush, it doesn't matter. All right. The biggest thing is if we start to flush and come down, be paying attention to the low. If we do not take out this low and we start to get and go bid over the levels that I provide tonight, we'll be looking for the move up into those EMAs, whether it's the daily EMA or the 4-hour EMA that I was showing earlier. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move over some trades that we took today. There were plenty. There were plenty of good things, and I kind of want to show you, what that looked like and how we did. All right. So the first one was Apple. This one was pretty straightforward. We went with the little green box that I provided. I can't make this stuff up. This was given to us in the morning. We'll start doing some of this in the morning so you guys can see that. All right, so price did come into, we had a little head and shoulders here if you're into that kind of thing. I just kind of throw that out there so people can see it. But the bigger picture is this. We came into an area, I believe, on the 4-hour, and we came into the green box, and we went ahead and took the trade as soon as we went bid out of that. What I mean by bid is just buyer stepped in. Okay, and we traded that up. We trimmed at every target, and then we closed. And you can see the pink line here. This is called the trendy edge. This is the ultimate target, and you can see we hit that. Tomorrow, for Apple, what we'll be looking for is can it reclaim the trendy edge? Okay. And if it does, we can look to go long. However, we'll be paying attention to this daily 9 EMA. Breaks over the daily 9, this thing can really get going, possibly up into about 119. Okay. If it can't, then this pink line is going to be resistance until it's not. Okay. But we'll go into further details tomorrow morning. All right. Next one we're going to go over is DDOG. This also was a trade that I took today. We call this the ACDC. All right, and I'm going to show you here on the weekly what this looks like. This was a beautiful trade. We had an inside and up here. Very easy to locate. You can see that it previously had came into the trendy edge and went bid. Got ourselves a nice little green box. We pull back in the morning. We pay attention over here to our broad market. Everything was lining up nicely. I took the trade here. And let's see on my monitor. Let me see if I can pull up activity and positions. I have 42 orders, 49 fills today. And DDOG, I can tell you, give me 1 second. I bought at 81.10. 81.10. So you can see we bought the dip there right here as planned. It pushed up very nicely, closing the day at 88.14. So that's a pretty big move, about $7 or so. Okay, that was the first one. And then coming over here, going into our next trade, we talked about Apple. By the way, my first Apple buy was at 105.68 today. All right, and next one we're going to go over is Piton. All right, well, this is straightforward. This is what we call the neutral strategy here. I love this strategy. I developed this, and it is based off supply and demand. It is based off Fibonacci. It's based off of Fibonacci extensions when there is no supply. All right, and this is really straightforward. When the market starts trending, prices in the yellow, let it mellow. Price broke out from above 91.28. I went long not only on shares, but we also bought I believe the 95 calls. Give me 1 second as I look over here. So I started my Piton, just so everybody knows, at 92. So I got into my shares a little late at 92, went over 91.28, and then I bought some contracts as well, and I bought the 95 calls. Okay, and those did really well. And you can see here, these targets here were predetermined. All right, and we hit T1 and T2, and I did close Piton, and we did very well there, hitting both targets to the tick. Okay. All right, let's move on down here. Yeah, it gets even better. So ESTC, right? I've never even heard of this, but I have my own scanners here that pick out um, all of our proprietary setups, ACDC, right? That's one of my favorite ones, and that's where this came from. Um, it stands for accelerator decelerator equals the ME. And so basically what we shoot for is the 113.31 in here. The exact entry it doesn't have to be too exact. We pick what 9 EMA that we want to stay in the trade on. And in this one here, um, you know, about this 80 cents down, folks, 80 cents down, and it's up 525. This worked out very, very nicely. Very nice trade. What we're looking for here tomorrow, of course, if we get a pullback, probably looking at somewhere around the 2 or the 4-hour 90 EMA. I want to make sure that sticks. You can see we have this nice little chaotic candle here. I'm probably looking at the 2-hour in the morning, and if we continue up, looking for the 113.31. All right. Next one, we came in with OKTA. This was a setup that I liked last week, and I tell you what, this was a big win here. Very nice win coming from last week. And again, you could see that here on the 4-hour, even if we go back. And the reason why I took this, okay? So the reason why I took this is because of these lines here. These are called trendy edges. And when we start to round out and it looks like we're going bid above the 9 EMA and we reclaim those edges, I'm looking for the trade to the upside. Tomorrow, very straightforward. If we can hold 206.40, I'm looking for a move in at 14 and then 223.14. Time is the variable. Okay, timing is the variable. Look at your weekly ATR at about 20 bucks. In this case, I'm probably looking at 2 weeks, but it can happen in one day. We've shown that very, very many times. Okay, so that's OKTA, and those were very nice hit there. And so congratulations on those. Here's Roku. We sent this out on Twitter. All right, this is pretty straightforward. I said on the notes there, if I noticed on Friday we closed over 164.28, which was already one of my targets, over 164.28, as long as we could hold that. Look for 168.12, then the ME here at 173.58, and then the breakout is above, and you can see there's a big breakout there. Breakout did happen over the trendy edge. We did hit the double top up here at the ATH at 185.39. We did extend off of that, but most importantly, what I really like is that we did come back and check that line to the tick, and you can see that in this candle here. So again, 185.39. Basically, we'll be waking up in the morning and trying to decide, do we want to take this trade? This makes it very simple. I'm going to take a Fibonacci extension. Okay, I'm going to take this chaotic candle. I'm going to measure that candle, come up to the top, and those are my targets. 196 to 201. Personally, for me, okay, something like this, I already made money on it today. Something like this, I feel a little bit of FOMO. I'm sure it could still run. I'm not saying it can't. Let it pull back a little bit, see if it can hold that level. And then for me, I'm probably buying verticals. Okay, buying like some verticals, like buying the 195 and selling the 200, and then I can manage it. If it starts to move in my direction, I can let go of the short and let the longs go and continue to trade up. Far as just stock, it's pretty simple. Put on the bracket that I'm comfortable with. As long as we stay above that level I gave you, then I'm looking for that 195 by 200. All right, let's talk about SPY really quick. Right at the end of the day, while I was having a conference call, I made 400%. That's right, 400%. Just very, very more of a momentum trade. It's been a really good day, and the individual who I spoke with, him and I are, we're known to take some really good trades when we start to see that momentum towards the end of the day. And really, the biggest thing that I was looking at, it came into my level, it held. Then I looked at my level here. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so we came up there pretty close to the 327 92 area. I bought the 327 and a half. They were super cheap. I bought them at 7 cents and I sold at like 28 cents. I'm going to tell you right now, I hardly ever, and my team can confirm with this, I'm hardly ever buying options that are that cheap ever. All right. So typically, what I'm looking for, I don't like lottos. I don't like gambling. I like things that are, more or less at delta 40 to delta 50, sometimes even higher. Okay. But it was too good to pass up. So I took it. All right. So next one was TEEM. All right. We came into this today with TEAM. All right, same thing. I call this the ACDC. It came into the trendy edges. You can see that. It held very well. All you need to know is when price is above the trendy edge, we look at it to be support until it's not. It came up. It is between the decel and the XL. We call this the ACDC. I'm looking for a move into 189.28 as long as that bottom red arrows can hold. And roughly that's around 172.50 or so. Okay. Timing, look at the ATR. It's at about $16 or so. I'm looking at about 2 weeks. All right, again, needs to hold that yellow line down there. All right, then my next one was Zscaler. This I really liked. It also was showing me when you go to a higher time frame. I apologize for this. I'm typically looking at, when I'm given trade plans here, the weekly and the daily candles at least. Um, this is a nice hook bottom rounding formation. We're holding the 9 EMA on the weekly. So I'm thinking a couple weeks, right? Um, Same thing. I'm looking for this pink line up here, but on our journey up there, I want to plot some targets where we can trim and sell. And that was 139.04, 143.87, and actually, I'm going to call that 143.50. So 139 and then 143.50. As long as price can hold above that 133.53, I continue to like this trade to the upside. And again, those are the targets. This trade also did very well. The team is 230% right now. It was up a little bit higher earlier. The OKTA trade was about 100% or so. The ESTC was 65%. A lot of these just, I mean, they did so well today. But the thing is, right? Here's a disclaimer: trading is not easy. I have a really nice mechanical process that we follow, and I feel like that's what makes it easy. As long as you can accept your loss and you go into trades with stops, okay? I understand that some people don't like stops, but when you have a process and your levels hold, you don't want to be holding something if it can't hold your levels. Why? There's no point of it. All right. If you go back and back test and you look at this stuff for your particular process, you just know, hey man, if my level doesn't hold, I don't want to be in this trade. And really, at the end of the day, we are money managers and we want to make sure that we take care of our money. All right. So I'm here to make money, not lose money. I don't want that PL that, you see a lot of traders with, and I'll just show you what that looks like. It typically looks, really fun. And then you ask them a couple weeks later, it looks like this. And then they're finally getting where they want to be. And then they're back down. And then they have a lotto. It might get them close to where they were, or maybe even higher. So then they get a lot of confidence. And by the end of the year, they're somewhere down here or they're blown out. And that's not what we teach here. We just teach a process. And around that, you have to figure out where you are in trading. Okay. Everything I do trade, though, you can see are neutral. I have my risk attached. All right, very, very important. I understand where my targets are, and you can see that my levels work really well. All right. So tomorrow we'll be starting again in the morning. We are moving here. We're moving into another property in a couple days, but I will be here to share and have fun with you trading. Make sure you check us out at TrendyTrading.co and like our videos, retweet our videos. We're here to help. If you have questions, please ask away. You guys have a nice day. We'll see you in the morning.